You know when you watch something so disturbing that it stays with you long after it ends? That's what happened to me after watching a documentary called Cropsey. Between 1972 and 1987, 5 children mysteriously disappeared from Staten Island. One man's name kept coming up again and again, Andre Rand. But this story is even darker because it leads back to a place called Willowbrook State School, an institution meant to care for children with intellectual disabilities. From the outside, Willowbrook looked peaceful. Inside, it was described as hell on earth. Built for 4,000 children, it eventually held over 6,000. Most were abandoned, forgotten, and completely voiceless. In 1972, investigative journalist Geraldo Rivera exposed what was really happening inside. The smell was unbearable. Children were living in filth, wearing torn clothes, covered in their own waste. Rooms looked worse than animal cages. But the most horrifying part? Doctors were performing unethical medical experiments. Healthy children were deliberately infected with hepatitis by being fed live virus samples. The doctors justified it by saying they would probably get sick anyway. The public was outraged. Willowbrook was finally shut down in 1987, but the damage was already done. Many children were relocated, some dying shortly after from stress and neglect. Others were lost in the system completely, their stories ending in silence. And then there's Andre Rand. Before becoming a suspected serial killer, he worked at Willowbrook as a janitor. One of his victims, a 12-year-old girl, was later found buried behind the abandoned school. For years, parents warned their kids about a monster called Cropsey, a shadowy man who lived in the woods and took children. Everyone thought it was just a legend, until it wasn't, because sometimes the boogeyman is real, and sometimes he hides in places meant to protect the most vulnerable. Some horror stories aren't fiction, they're history. Follow for more true stories the world tried to forget.